Hey everyone, I'm Dana Carmel, a songwriting teacher based in Brooklyn, New York, and I am so passionate about helping people channel their creativity into music. That is how I channel my creativity into music and into songwriting, and I hope to be your trusted source for holistic songwriting here on YouTube. If you want to work with me one-on-one, go to danacarmel.com. You can find out how to do that there. And then any other sources or resources that I use in the lessons will be in the caption notes. So let's get started with our lesson. Hey guys, welcome back to Life of a Songwriter. I am your host, Dana Carmel, and today we are talking about how to choose your set list. So I have a show next week, and this is something that I'm currently going through. How am I choosing my set list? So I just thought I would come on here and give a few quick and dirty tips that I like to follow and just things that I like to do when I'm choosing my set list. So today, what we're going to talk about is which songs to start with no matter what, and then also why the order of your songs is so important. We're also going to talk about the difference between a live show and a recording. What could those be? So let's dive in. What song to start with? You always want to start with a song that you feel super comfortable playing. Just a reminder, but my advice is to never start with a new song, with a song that you haven't played out before, because I don't know about you, but for me, I get some jitters no matter how many times I've done it. And so those first songs, I want to feel so super comfortable playing that I know like the back of my hand, that I don't have to worry about whether I know the words or whether I know the chords or whether I know anything. It's just like I could do it in my sleep. So those are the songs that I recommend starting with. Those are the songs that I definitely start with. You want to feel super comfortable. I think of the first two songs, it's kind of like a warm-up. So you want to feel like you're just kind of getting those, at least I want to feel like I'm getting those jitters out. Why song order is important? Why is it even important? Well, the order of songs in a live music performance is a carefully considered aspect of the art form. It's just a creative endeavor unto itself, right? So it influences the pacing, the emotional impact, and the overall success of the show. So it really does matter. I know my favorite band, Pearl Jam, lead singer Eddie Vedder, he chooses a different set list every single night, every single show. Now, they've been doing it so long that he can do it just that night. He kind of gets a general list going, and then he changes it according to how he feels, how he thinks the audience might be feeling, and he's so practiced that he can do it the night of. I tend to practice, up to a week or 2 weeks up to the show, just so that I can I practice, I get a sense of how the songs feel next to each other. But it is very important, not only for the audience, but for you as well. I think about the show as having an arc. You want a mix of up-tempo, mid-tempo, low-tempo. You really want to take this listener for a ride and give them a good show. So some things to keep in mind. These are things that you want to consider. Energy flow, like what we were just talking about, the emotional content of the song, right? Like if you want to kind of keep them going on that roller coaster ride, you want to take that into account. Transitions are huge. I usually don't like to have songs that are in the same key right next to each other. That's just a personal preference, because I don't want the listener to be like, is this the same song? So I usually will keep those in different parts of the show. Number 3, the narrative or the theme. Like maybe there's this actual story arc of your songs that you're doing. That would be a cool thing to do. I've definitely done that myself. Audience engagement. Do you have songs where you ask them to sing along? Do you have songs where you ask them to clap? Like those are really helpful to keep the audience engaged. And you can put those towards the end, have one in the middle, pepper them in there. Number 5, variety and contrast, just like we were talking about. Want some mid-tempo, low-tempo, up-tempo. You really, I've been to shows where people have kind of kept it in the middle, like pretty slow and steady, and I gotta say it didn't really keep me engaged. You really kind of, I like to pepper it up with some up tempo and not just kind of have like this little lull in the middle. And then of course, highlighting key moments. That's something else to keep in mind. Is there a song that people really love? Where do you put that one? Can you put that in the middle? Any key moments of songs, a bridge that people love. You think about Taylor Swift and her Cruel Summer bridge, that she really highlights that, like, all right, now we get to the moment in this song where we cross this bridge. Do you guys know where the words to this bridge? And she really highlights those key moments. So just something to think about when you're coming together with your set list. One more thing to think about is just what song to end with. Again, I really like to end with a song that is a favorite. It's a fan favorite. People usually tell me that they love it, and so I save that one for last. Sometimes I know that people are coming and they want to hear it, so they'll stick around for that song. Sometimes you want to end with a bang. You really want them wanting more, so you got to think about that. What is a song that is like so good that people love? I would say end with that. Make them want more. And last but not least, we're just going to talk about the difference between a live show and a recording. Well, what's the difference? Well, one is a live show and one is a recording. Go figure. But really, you want to think about, you can do different things in a live show that you can't do in the recording. You can change it up. It's a creative act and a creative part just in itself, like being in a live show. So, if you have recordings, you can change them up. You can kind of linger on the intro a little bit. You can stand away from the microphone and kind of make an entrance. There's so many different ways that you can kind of make the live show a little bit different than the recording, while also staying true to the recording. And you can just make it a creative endeavor on its own. So just something to think about. You could, do the bridge twice. You could change the form. There's so many things you could do. So just another way to be creative. And that's it. In summary, it's important to find that right set list for your shows that feels like a sweet spot of what you want to play and the ride the audience will take, right? So it is just another way for you to be creative and to play the songs that you want to play, but also keep in mind the audience and what they might want to hear. And, it's also a great way to get feedback of your songs, right? It's like, that's how you can tell when the audience is feeling the song or when they're not. So it's a great way also to do that. You can try out new songs, but just not in the beginning of the set. That's what I recommend. Do it later. And that's about it. So we're keeping this one short and sweet today with Life of a Songwriter. If you want more, you can go to danacarmel.com. I have one-on-ones. You can work with me if you want some help with your songwriting. Leave a comment below with how you go about choosing your set list. And of course, hit subscribe. I'd love to make more of these videos. If you want me to make more videos, that is a very helpful way to allow me to do that. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you next time. Thank you for coming to my Life of a Songwriter channel, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.